my name is Edith Kimani. Thank you for joining us. Merry Christmas. And here is what we have prepared for you this afternoon. I've heard December being called Drink December, but woe unto you because 15 people have been arrested over the weekend and will part with 10,000 shillings fine after they pleaded guilty to drunk driving. The 15 were arraigned in court today following a swoop conducted by traffic police on drunk drivers along various Nairobi roads. The 15 are charged with driving motor vehicles under the influence of alcohol. They all pleaded guilty before Nairobi Magistrate Elisha Cherono. They were each released on a fine of 10,000 shillings or face 3 months in prison. The 15 who were in court were among 34 drunk drivers arrested over the weekend. The other 19 suspects have been issued with warrants of arrest for failing to show up in court. Well, from drunk drivers to what is currently happening in the health sector, the strike, and Bomet Governor, who is also the chairperson of the Council of Governors, Isaac Ruto, is now accusing corrupt cartels in the government medical supplies chain over the health crisis in the country following the 2 weeks doctors' strike. Ruto says corrupt cartels have been benefiting in the procurement of medicine and are the ones pushing for the opposition of health devolution as they will lose on their businesses. The governor said the return to work formula signed by the government and the Health Workers Union stands and all health officers should resume duty.
Ile maneno ya mahospitali sio ya madaktari ni mambo ya wakubwa ambao wamezoea kula pesa ya madawa. Sio ya madaktari. Kuna kesi imepelekwa kotini na mimi ninajua mahali hiyo plaint iliandikwa. Kuna wakubwa wanataka pesa ile ilikuwa inanunua madawa. Warudishio hiyo pesa ikae Nairobi ndio waendelee kukula in millions. Na nyinyi muendelee bila madawa. Si haja yao kuhakikisha wewe uko na dawa, pana. Lakini gavana yenu anahitaji kununua madawa na kuhakikisha daktari ako kwa hospitali.
Well, we're interested to know what you think. Are you on the ground? Are you one of the striking health workers? Let us know if Isaac Ruto is justified in his comment by sending us a tweet to @KTN Kenya or @KTN Newsdesk. To Murang'a County, where a 36-year-old man is wanted by police for the alleged murder of his older brother. Benson Manyeki is said to have gone underground after killing his brother Julius Karanja following a family feud. Sharon Momanyi has the details.
In the most crudest of ways, tragedy struck this homestead in Kiamara village, Murang'a County, as a 36-year-old man hacked his elder brother to death using a machete.
Nimefahamishwa hiyo mambo kutoka pale kwa Kiamara shopping center. Nikaambiwa na watu wengine hapa, kaniambia unajua ndugu yako aliuawa kweli. Amepelekwa wapi? Kwa Murang'a Mosari. Nikaambia wacheni nifike kwa nyumba. Sasa kufika hapa nikakuta kweli ni ukweli ati ameuawa.
With grief and shock written all over their faces, the family is still trying to come to terms with the appalling incident. It is said that Benson Manyeki confronted his 58-year-old brother Julius Karanja over an alleged attempt to break into their mother's house. The deceased then tried to run away from his enraged brother, who unfortunately caught up with him and attacked him with a machete, disfiguring his entire face.
Lakini mimi nilipata habari kutoka kwa raia ati ndugu yake ndiye walikuwa wanapigana na ndiye aliumiza yeye, lakini tulipata kama ameaga dunia tayari.
Incidentally, Margaret Wanjiru, the 76-year-old mother of the two men, tried to protect his killer son by claiming that his murdered son was attacked by a mob, something that did not go down well with the area assistant chief.
Hata kama mtu wako na vitendo vibaya, anatakiwa tu kuripotiwa ndio tuweze kusaidia hiyo familia.
Police have now launched a search for Benson Manyeki, a father of 9, who is still at large. Sharon Momanyi, KTN.
The Kenyan government is set to continue evacuating Kenyans from South Sudan following a week of tension and fighting sparked off by last week's attempted coup. Over the weekend, over 100 Kenyans were evacuated from South Sudan by the Kenya Defense Forces. Now, at least 1,500 Kenyans are said to be stranded in South Sudan, where many have sought refuge at the United Nations mission in South Sudan compound. World leaders, including the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, have called for an end to the growing civil conflict in South Sudan, urging rival political leaders to open negotiations. Clashes between troops loyal to South Sudan President Salva Kiir and others backing his former deputy Riek Machar have left hundreds of people dead and thousands more displaced from their homes. The official death toll from that crisis has been placed at around 450, although there have been disputes regarding that number. Remember, you can get a really nice opinion article on this on www.standardmedia.co.ke or grab yourself a copy of The Standard. But back to local news, and residents of Gashogo village in Murang'a County are accusing a construction company of destroying their main source of water. Residents say the company in its road construction has buried their clean water supply with earth. The residents' main concern is not only that the previously clean water has been polluted, but that the supply to their homes has been greatly interrupted. The Gashogo residents have not had running water for years and say they rely solely on the water supply that is now being jeopardized. NEMA has allegedly been contacted to intervene but is yet to respond. The Kenya National Highway Authority has apparently remained mum on the issue as well. Renegade Nandi Hills parliamentarian Alfred Keter has blasted President Uhuru Kenyatta's two-day visit of Rift Valley. Keter claims the visit was aimed at gagging him from questioning the tendering process of the standard gauge railway. The Nandi Hills MP still insists the multi-billion shillings project will cost nearly 3 times the real value of the project. Keter faulted President Kenyatta's administration for being intolerant to dissent.
We cannot lose money in the name of trying to create employment because we need money. You see, in the wage bill, the only reason why we want to reduce the wage bill is because we want money for development. How can you then lose 400 billion in the name of trying to generate employment? Those are some of the questions we should be asking ourselves. When you raise these issues, the whole government goes to your constituency or your county to oppose you or to try and gag you or to try and frustrate your efforts of trying to make sure Kenyans have value for their money. They came the other day to my county, but they didn't realize the bosses are the common mwananchi. And they came and realized. The whole government came there. Number one, is that constitutional? Was law followed or it was flawed? That was the question number one on that end. Question number two, why are we losing 400 billion? Why is it that when it is in Korea, they construct 1 kilometer of a railway using $2 million? Why are you using $6 million US, 3 times the price? I needed those questions to be answered in that podium. But they took a lot of time to insult me.
Well, from politics to Kisumu, where residents of Canaan Estate in Kisumu County woke up to a rather bizarre incident of homicide in which a husband and wife perished. Both of the couple, identified as George Ochieng, who's 49, and Florence Odero, who was 46, were found lying on the floor of their sitting room, 2 meters away from each other this morning. The close neighbor, who was among the first to arrive at the scene, said that the couple had a fight before the house was razed down. The couple is also said to have been in constant wrangles for a long time. Kisumu North OCPD Peter Omnwana said the body of the woman seemed to have been strangled before the fire incident. Investigations have been launched into the matter.
when she saw this man setting a fire on himself, the lady was standing, because I was even given the theory that she might have been strangled before she died. Probably she has died out of suffocation.
Just be beginning with Betty Kyalo at the High Courts. It's a case on digital migration. Media owners and media house enterprises have raised a lot of concern with regard to what the CCK is saying, and Justice David Majanja was supposed to deliver a final ruling on that this afternoon. Betty Kyalo has been following that case, and she now joins us live from the courts. Betty, I know the last thing he said was that he's going to send an email in 15 to 20 minutes, but what's the resolve?
Well, good afternoon, Edith. By now you know that the High Court has dismissed officially the petition by the media owners, including the Standard Group, the Nation Media Group, and Royal Media Services. The High Court judge David Majanja dismissed the petition, saying that he does not see any reason to forestall this process any longer. He says that other countries have experienced the kind of challenges that these media enterprises are contemplating they'll face, and therefore there should be no delay in terms of beginning this process. That means that in Nairobi County, anytime from today, the switch might just take place. The lawyer representing the media houses, Senior Counsel Paul Mwite, responded to this judgment, saying that he will indeed go to the Court of Appeal and to make an appeal, something that Justice David Majanja said he is fine with it. And in case Paul Mwite and of course his clients are hoping to get another kind of verdict from that particular court. But of course, also Paul Mwite asked that he be given a 30-day delay, just to make sure that the media houses have enough time for this transition, something that also David Majanja declined, saying that this should take place immediately. Now remember that this will only start here in Nairobi County, and it will go on to other counties in the coming months, starting from June 2014. Well, those are the details that we have gathered here, but of course more details will come your way in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you, Edith.
All right, thank you very much, Betty. Of course, a decision that will influence greatly how people are going to be spending their Christmas, given that Paul Mwite claims that 90% of TV viewers will be affected by this, or TV owners in Nairobi will be affected by the switch off. We'll be giving you more details of that in our subsequent bulletins, as Betty has said. But from me, Edith Kimani, it's good afternoon. See you tomorrow, and Godspeed.